These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
One sunny day, a honeybee was merrily buzzing through an orchard when she stopped to collect nectar from a mystery apple blossom. She passed that pollen along to a Honeycrisp tree, and months later, the sugar bee apple was born. Naturally sweet, with layered notes of caramel, honey, molasses, and the perfect crunch. The world has embraced the sugar bee apple, a pure delight for snacking and baking. Download our new free recipe book and find a store near you at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar bee apples, from bee to you.
Hey weirdos, I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
Let's just get right into it, guys.
Yeah, guys.
I was just scrolling through Twitter and somebody tweeted at me and they were like, hey, did you see this? And the title of this article was Hundreds of Bodies Discovered Under Rhode Island Highway During Search for Gravesite.
And what they meant was like 1,000.
They said 800 to 1,000 bodies are buried under this highway in Rhode Island, and it's the Route 37 highway.
This is like blowing my brain apart.
Yes.
The amount of times
insane.
we've driven over this highway.
That's the other thing. I've driven over this highway so many times. It's insane. So how it all started was this woman from Rhode Island, Maria DeGrasse. She was searching for her great-great-grandfather's final resting place. She's been looking for his final resting place for over 10 years.
Yeah, and his name was Antonio Coelho?
Coelho, I believe
it is.
And he was a really important person in Rhode Island's history.
Yeah. We were just reading these articles about this because now we just can't stop. Now we're like, what is going on? Antonio Coelho was the first person in Rhode Island from Cape Verde to buy a packet ship in 1891. This is according to an article by...
Is it news10.com?
Yeah. And he helped immigrants come over to Providence for work and then helped with that boat to transport goods back to those immigrants' families. And this guy was also featured in an exhibit at the Providence Children's Museum in 1997.
Still amazing featured. Guy.
A very prominent, very
figure.
Icon.
And he obviously underwent like a lot because, so originally he was from Cape Verde. And at the time, according to this article on news10.com, we'll link it in the show notes, laws at the time forbade him from owning a ship in his name. So the captain that bought the ship intentionally sunk it. And it was called the Nellie May.
And it was because he was from Cape Verde
That he couldn't
wasn't allowed to
own
own that
the
ship.
ship.
It's so wild.
It's ridiculous. So it said that sort of set a spiral into his life, that sort of set a spiral of his life into poverty until he died. So at first, these people were buried at the State Institution Cemetery number 3 in 1941. And then they dug up that cemetery and moved them to this unmarked mass grave. And it's called State Institution Cemetery number 2. That was in 1975. He was one of 577 bodies, and the family was never told that these people were being moved from their eternal resting place.
Like where you know them to be, they are not going to be there anymore, and we're not going to tell you that, and we're not going to tell you where they went.
Yeah. Like, what? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's like, the thing that his granddaughter was, or his great-great-granddaughter was saying, she was like, I don't even want like recognition for this. I just want to be able to go somewhere like with my children and say thank you to this man for everything that he was.
And she's like, I just want respect for him.
But
that's all I want is for us to be able to go and say thank you and like give him the honor and respect he deserves.
That he absolutely deserves. And think, this is one woman's story.
One person of between 800 and 1,000 bodies, which are still under the highway.
And it says that they were aware, like Rhode Island is aware of this.
They were just like, oops.
I'm like, hey guys, what are we going to do to rectify that situation?
And they were saying, I think I saw one official that was like, well, this whole thing was done when laws were really lax and this would never happen today. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it.
How do we fix this?
But now we know that people are under the highway. Like, that's a big problem.
Imagine driving over that highway.
We have. It's like, what?
I mean, like, knowing it now, like, I'm never driving over there anymore.
That's so wild, guys. Like, that's really wild. And now I want to look into this more.
Yeah, I feel like this could become, like, an entire thing that we talk about.
Yeah, because it seems like there's probably a lot of stories under there.
Yeah, I feel like as this whole entire case unfolds, there's going to be so many more people that come forward. And luckily, at least, these people will get the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully be moved into an actual resting place.
Oh, that's just, like, really wild.
And it's just, like, a lot of people that were, like, poor at the time. Or, like, people that were institutionalized or stuff like that.
Yeah, because there was paupers' graves. Like, that's where you would go, and it was always a mass grave.
So crazy.
It really is. So thank you to the person who tweeted that at us to tell us. Because for some reason, I didn't see it anywhere on the news, but maybe I haven't been watching the news that much, so maybe I missed it.
I've been remiss.
I have been remiss.
Well, that's bonkers, and my case for this week is also bonkers.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, so a lot of you guys actually requested this. I was looking in the morbid like suggestion box on our email, and this was requested like a ton of times. So this is the case of Susan Monica.
It sounds familiar.
So it sounded familiar to me, and then I started looking into it, and I had absolutely never heard of this before. And just like a little warning, it does involve animals, and like it could be viewed as animal cruelty. In my opinion, it is. So just be aware of that. If that's not something you want to hear right now, see you next episode.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Susan Monica was born in California in 1948. She was actually assigned male at birth, and before she transitioned, she served in the Navy during the Vietnam War.
Wow.
Which was like a really big deal.
Yeah.
She was
same with my dad.
Yeah, exactly. She was honorably discharged, and then she got into the world of engineering. She apparently did like really well, and a few years into her engineering career, she had enough money to buy some land. So in 1991, she bought this 20-acre farm in Weimar, Oregon. Did I say that right? Oregon? Yeah.
Oregon, yeah.
I did it. And she just like got working on the farm, making it her own. She built her own house on the property, like from the ground up.
Wow.
A huge barn. She was raising chickens and pigs. She even had her own side business where she made these like wrought iron fences and gates.
This sounds lovely. I know it's not going to end up that way, but it sure sounds it now.
Sounds beautiful, huh?
It does.
But apparently these wrought iron fences and gates were like gorgeous, like craft, like the way that they were crafted.
Oh, yeah.
She would put like animals and stuff on them.
Yeah, people
like,
who make that kind of stuff, like hand make that, they're always the most beautiful things.
Yeah, they were showing like pictures of them, and I was like, oh wow, like I want one of those, but now I don't.
But now I don't.
But after years and years of working on this farm herself, and because at this point she was at this point she was in her 60s, she needed some help. So she put this ad on Craigslist, and in 2013, a man named Robert Haney responded. So Robert Haney was born June 26, 1957. There's really not a lot known about his upbringing or his early life at all, and I did some serious digging. But I did find out that he ran away from home with his brother when they were younger. They were teenagers. And that's kind of how Robert became a handyman. He would take odd jobs here and there to make ends meet. And that's how he kind of became a master in a bunch of different crafts and
Jack
trades.
of all trades.
He really was. He could do carpentry, plumbing, you name it, he could do it. He met his wife, Talia, when they were younger. I'm not sure exactly what year, but they went on to have 5 children together.
Wow.
He would work 6-day work weeks, sometimes 7, just to make sure that the family had enough. He was a really dedicated father. And for one reason or another, in 2003, he and Talia divorced, and he moved to Oregon with the kids at that point. He was just ready to downsize, especially once all the kids were grown and off doing their own thing. So he actually got a dog and a camper, and that's how he started living his life.
I love it.
He was like, I'm just going to go around with my dog and my camper. Now, in 2013, when he stumbled upon the ad, it seemed like a perfect job for him because she was just looking for a handyman, which is exactly what he was, someone to help out around the farm. So Susan, they met up, she talked to him, she was like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. She hired him and they made this deal that she was going to pay him in cash and he would be able to keep his camper on her property. So he could live right on the property, he could build whatever he wanted on the property and help her out. So it sounded like a great deal for both of them. And by all accounts, Robert was an excellent hand to have around on the farm. Another employee said of him, he was her handyman, laborer, and carpenter. Whatever she asked of him, he did. So sweet.
There you go. That's all we're ever asking of our handyman.
Just do what I need, please.
Please fix things.
Yeah, and he
That's
really
all.
was. Robert's son Jesse said that his father liked the peace and quiet that the farm had to offer, especially while he was out just living out in the woods, doing his own thing.
Yeah, it sounds relaxing.
Yeah. But in December of 2013, though, Robert had gone way too far off the grid for his family's comfort. They would go periods of time without talking to him and it wouldn't be weird. But at this point, it had been months since anybody had heard from him. It had been almost 2 months.
Ooh.
So by New Year's Day 2014, they were ready to go out to the farm and figure out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
So all of his kids drove out there together. And Susan Monica was on her property, so they figured they'd talk to her and try to piece together what had happened or what was going on.
Where is he?
Right. So Susan told them that Robert just up and left one day. And she was like, so would you mind collecting his things? He just kind of left them. Would you go grab them and take care of them?
Oh, I'd already be sus.
Yeah. And they definitely were because they went out to their dad's trailer and right away something was off. Robert's son Jesse said just being there made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up.
Oh, no.
He was like, something was weird. First and foremost, he left his dog.
Yeah.
Which he never ever would have
Yeah.
done. His jacket was still there. All his tools were laid out on the table. And they were anybody who knew him, number one, his dog was so important to him.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at sofi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply.
But his tools, like, he really cared for his tools and, like, took good care of them. He wouldn't have just left them, like,
that's his life.
It's literally his life, absolutely. And, like, where would he go without a jacket?
Well,
it's like fall time in Oregon, like it's cold.
Well, and it's like he left his trailer. Why wouldn't he just bring the trailer with it? Like,
he left everything.
No.
And his kid said as soon as they saw, like, all of that, they were like, nope, something is totally off. We're going to the police about
those
this.
poor kids.
Yeah,
like,
he's 5 kids.
You go there and you just know something's off.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that drive out there, like, what you're feeling and thinking.
And then after looking at that trailer, knowing that something's wrong, I would want to run back to her and be like, what the fuck did you do to my dad? Like I would immediately want to, like, shake her down.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like that, but they know they can't.
Exactly. Ugh. So they went straight to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office and filed a missing persons report.
Good.
But it was proving to be a challenging task trying to figure out what happened to Robert, especially because his income was mainly cash.
Oh, so there was no, like, paper trails.
There was no paper trail, no way to track where he was spending his money, if he had, like, any other account or anything. They didn't really know. Like, his kids were like, we don't know if he has any other open accounts. Like, he really would have no reason to. And he's kind of just that kind of guy. Like, he doesn't need it. He's like very, like, Ron Swanson off the grid.
Exactly.
So the other problem was that literally nobody had heard from him in months and months. Like, not only his kids, but, like, Susan Monica hadn't heard from him after he left. And they didn't really know, like, many of his friends. And, like, if they weren't in the area, nobody knew where he was.
Oh, man.
So there was zero
So he just
leads.
vanished.
It was like he walked in, like, to thin air.
Yeah.
So one of the people that the detectives obviously really wanted to talk to was Susan.
Yeah, I would say so.
So when they got to the farm, they were in for quite a sight. There were cars and different vehicles scattered on the property. There were, like, random debris just piled all over the place.
Sounds like Willie Pickton.
It honestly looks, like, right on par with that.
Yeah, that's literally,
like,
sounds like you're describing the Pickton farm.
It's funny because a lot of the people that suggested this case were like, oh, here's Willie Pickton's, like, female counterpart.
Oh, man.
And
I was going to say, I don't love that.
no, this farm is disgusting. We'll post pictures of it.
Oh, God.
There were, like, tires just, like, scattered about. Like,
This is literally Willie Pickton's farm.
one of the detectives on scene, Julie Denny, said, quote, I would describe that property as eerie. There was a very strong odor there, a lot of decay.
Ew.
Yeah. So once they sat Susan down to talk, she told them that Robert had been working for her and living in his trailer on the property about 6 months, but that sometime around the fall, like around, like, early fall, like late August, early September, he started acting differently. And she said that one of the last things she remembered him telling her before he took off was about this phone call that he had had with a family member. According to Susan, the family member had told Robert that she had been the victim of, like, a sexual assault, and that Robert had been really upset by this phone call, obviously.
Oh, jeez.
So after that alleged phone call, Susan said that Robert started drinking a lot more and his behavior started, like, really just getting weird.
Okay.
And Susan wasn't actually the only person to mention that phone call or Robert's behavior afterwards. Some of his family members, like including his son Jesse, confirmed that that phone call happened. And they all confirmed that Robert was incredibly upset. And some people thought, you know, maybe he wanted to seek out his own revenge on this person who had done this to his family.
Okay.
So then that kind of...
That can fly as a story.
Absolutely.
Like, that's not one of those that you're like, really? Like, is that what you're going with? Like,
no, it's, like, not that
like, all right.
crazy at all. There was, like, a neighbor who knew Robert and remembered a couple nights where Robert was drinking a lot and then screaming in his trailer at night, like, why? Like, this is so horrible. Like, just really sad.
Yeah.
And at that point, the investigators were like, okay, so maybe he went to try to confront this person and, like, got hurt. Maybe he's on his way to go confront this person.
Yeah.
Maybe he's, like, tracking them down. We don't know. But Susan said that after a while of this like change in behavior, she was actually going to go talk to him about his drinking. But that same day that she was going to go talk to him, he went to her with some money and said, "Can you take care of my dog? I have to go take care of some stuff." And so she said, "Oh, yeah, sure, like I'll take care of the dog." And that day, a white car picked him up and she never saw him again.
Huh.
So that was in September. Now it is January.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, yeah.
She's like, he just never came back for
Yeah,
the dog.
That was weird a few months ago
Yeah, I don't know.
when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have told you guys, but like,
Yeah.
I got busy.
Farm.
Yeah. I had to finish, like, I had to finish my Sims game.
There was a lot of tires
see
to
where it
stack
went.
over there.
Yeah,
I
you
was
know.
raking some debris
I got
earlier.
stuff
I don't
to
know
do.
if you noticed.
Probably slipped my mind that a whole ass person
Is just gone.
lost out of my farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries at all.
Whoops.
And like didn't even tell his kids that. Like just goes and tells the police that. I'm like, his kids were just there. Why didn't you tell them that?
No.
Weird.
Fishy.
Fishy. And something about Susan's story felt fishy to the authorities.
It feels downright oceanic.
It does. Truly, it does. It feels like the Arctic up in here. It
does.
Like the Arctic Ocean.
Like, let me, because at first I was like,
You're
yeah,
like, it's cold now? Why is it so
It-
cold?
it got chilly.
I was like, no, the ocean.
there's a body of water.
It's just the one I thought at first. It's
fine.
But they also were like, yeah, that paired with the fact that farm, like something is happening on that farm. We know it. It's like, I just feel it.
Shit's going down.
Yeah, shit is going down for real. But obviously they couldn't go off of just that. And like I said, there were some details in the case where they were like, maybe we should look down some other avenues. If he really wanted revenge on this family member, should we look into that a little bit more? But they were like there's definitely some kind of foul play going on here. Like, we're freaked out.
Yeah.
But they were going to have some serious validation when it came to their bad feelings, when it came to their conversation with Susan, because they were able to find out that there was an EBT card that was Robert's card, and they tracked the transactions. So they could see where he had been spending his money, and he really hadn't been spending a lot. But there was one interesting event. And how interesting was it that in December, after Robert disappeared without a trace, his EBT was used at a Walmart about 25 minutes away from Susan Monica's farm.
Huh.
And
It sounds great.
even
There he is.
crazier though, no, that's not him.
Oh, no,
Because
it's not.
they looked at the footage and this woman who looked exactly like Susan Monica was the one using the EBT card at Walmart.
Walmart's gonna get you.
Walmart is always going to get
Walmart
you.
is always gonna get you. It's like, guys, I mean, I'm glad you don't think of the fact that there's cameras everywhere and that
Seriously.
electronic cards will track you, but like, what?
Like using a person's
on.
card that you at the hello, we all know he's deceased at this point. You know that he's dead and you're using his EBT card 25 minutes from your house.
That takes like a special kind of like evil, like detachment from humanity kind of shit too, when people use the person that they like, because I'm assuming that she, like, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure she probably killed him.
Wow.
But either way, a dead person's like, credit cards, debit cards, money, like
Yeah.
EBT cards, any of that stuff, like,
It's fucked.
how do you get your brain to say like, yup, this is fine?
Right. And correct, she did kill him and
Yeah.
we'll get into that.
Oh, Lord.
But like how did you not think that you were going to get caught? Like, have you ever watched
Yeah.
any crime show ever?
I think it really proves how much these kind of people think they are above everybody in intelligence and skill level in everything.
Susan Monica.
They think they're above it all, and they're like, they're not. I'll go do this because
No.
who gives a shit? They're not going to catch me.
No, Susan Monica, even her own defense attorney said that she was a clear narcissist.
Most of them are, and it's because of that they always think they can get away with the most
Right.
brazen shit.
Like the most obvious shit.
because we do it all the time. We're always like, why the fuck did they do that? Like,
Right.
why would they think they get away with it? Because they do.
Yeah.
They
It's
just
the way it is, unfortunately. I mean, I guess in a way it's fortunately
Because it
gets
often gets them caught. But man,
it's horrific that it even has to happen.
yeah.
So anyways, with that, a search warrant was served ASAP Rocky at Susan Monica's property. And the farm had gotten even worse between the last visit they made. This time, in addition to the random piles of debris, there were also just like piles of garbage everywhere.
Ew.
Yeah. A lot of sources described the scene as just straight up squalor, and eventually the teams investigating had to use breathing apparatuses just to get through the job.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because at certain points they had to like dig through a bunch of stuff, which we'll get into later, and they were using breathing apparatuses.
This is the Picton farm.
It literally is.
I'm feeling such deja vu right
There
now.
was straight up hazardous waste at this farm, like everywhere.
I believe it.
So it was then, while they were going through with their breathing apparatuses and like looking at all of this, that they saw what they believed to be a human leg sticking out of a catchment pond.
Oh.
Upon closer look, they realized that the leg was severed mid-femur down to the toes.
Mid-femur?
Mid-femur. And it's just sticking out of a catchment pond. So immediately, Susan was taken downtown for questioning.
Yeah, you gotta explain that.
And right out of the gate, she offered the detectives this bizarre but not completely unconvincing story. She said that one day, that past year during the fall, she went out to the pig pen and she found her pigs in what she called a feeding frenzy. She said that the closer she looked, she realized that the pigs were eating a human, and when she looked even closer, she realized it was Robert. And she said, quote, his guts were all over the place. So she went on to say he was being eaten what I believe to be alive. So at that point, she said she grabbed her shotgun and killed him because she said, I had to do similar things over the years for different animals. I was putting him out of his misery.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So after she shot him,
Which I guess is not a crazy story to spin, because you're like, it's a horrifying story and a crazy one, but like not crazy in the sense that you're like, that didn't happen.
Oh no, it's insane because people actually get eaten by pigs a lot more.
A lot.
Than we
It's actually
realize.
like a very casual risk we all take living amongst pigs.
No, it is. Like if you like I read this article of this man who was a farmer and these were his pigs and he fell in there one day. Like nobody knew exactly what happened, but he must have fallen and the pigs ate him alive.
Yeah.
Like it happens a lot.
Oh,
It's really gross. So after she shot him, she said she left his body there for the pigs for a couple days, which I was like, that was really horrific of you if you did that. Because,
yeah.
But then again, I was like, how would you get him out of there?
Well, I was just gonna
They
say,
might turn on you.
But then that's the thing. You're like, how do you remove him
I don't really know.
without them turning on you? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, it's scary. Pigs
This is
are
a terrible story.
like pigs are cute, but
they're very intelligent.
don't want them anymore.
Oh,
I don't want to pet a pig at the farm anymore.
man.
But so yeah, so she left him there for a couple days, and then once the pigs got what they were going to get, she said she put the rest of his body into garbage bags. And she said that I guess she just like left them somewhere because she said that an animal must have gotten into the bags and dragged the leg down to the pond, and that's where obviously they found his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she told the police that the reason that she hadn't called them and been truthful when they first showed up was because she was afraid for the pigs. She didn't want them to be killed.
Wow.
So it really does seem like a somewhat believable story, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely put that in the realm of reality.
Absolutely. But the thing with Susan is that like the story was going to change about like 3 to 4 more times.
It's also very convenient.
Yeah, like super convenient.
Very convenient.
It is. It is.
And it just paints her as an animal lover.
Yeah, and
And
humanitarian.
And somebody who had no choice. That story puts her in a perfect position of, I don't know how he got there.
Yup.
Something happened.
Yup.
I wasn't there when it happened, so I couldn't help him.
Which is believable because
put him
the
out of his
farm,
misery.
and the farm is huge. It's like
Exactly.
20 acres.
And it puts her in the position of, I couldn't remove him right away because I feared for my own safety, which I'm allowed to. Mm-hmm. And then I did remove him, and
And
I
it
don't know what
explains the
happened right
gunshots
now.
because she shot him to put him out of his misery.
exactly.
Yeah. And then if she loves her pigs, so I guess that's why she wasn't truthful. But like I said, that story was going to change a lot. Later, she said that she actually pushed Robert into the pig pen because he was drunk and he had come on to her. So she pushed him in there. And after she pushed him, she shot him 3 to 4 times in the head.
Well, that escalated quickly.
2 very different stories. So
yeah,
they were
those are
like
literally very
very
different.
opposite ends of the spectrum.
Wow.
Yeah. And later, Veronica Vance, a state police forensic anthropologist, did confirm that Robert had been shot in the head 3 to 4 times. She was also able to determine and later testified that Robert Haney's legs had been chopped off with an axe. and that his thigh bones, quote, showed signs of having been gnawed on by some kind of animal. She wasn't able to say for 100% certainty whether or not the axe had been used while Robert was still alive, or if the damage had been inflicted post-mortem.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so there was a lot more than just him falling into the pig pen. There was an axe used here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it bothered me too that like when you said like there was a whole leg mid femur down.
Right.
I'm like, the pigs didn't eat that?
Right, exactly.
Like the femur, your thigh bone is the most meat.
Exactly. And then later on, there's more things that had me confused as well.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot of answers in this story because Susan Monica is just a wild woman.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get into it. They did believe that Robert was killed on September 9th, 2013 at 56 years old.
Oh, that's so sad.
So sad. So after telling her myriad of stories about what happened to Robert Haney, the investigators asked Susan one more time if there was anything else that they needed to know. She paused, and then she told them, there is. And can I have a pencil and a paper so I can draw you a map of my property?
Oh,
And they were
can
like,
you imagine? You'd be like, oh, shit.
Sure.
Okay, sure. We're going to
Why
get into
are
this.
you drawing a map? So
There's only one reason you draw a map of your property for investigators when you're in the middle of a homicide investigation.
Yeah. So she finished drawing this map of her property. And as she was finishing, she drew a big X right in the middle of the property. And they were like, hey, what's that about?
I guess that's not where the buried treasure is, right?
Nay.
No.
She said, right there. That's where you're going to find Steve.
Oh, man.
She was referring to.
Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing, though. Their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to Teacher Lists, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just... Honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
a man named Steve Delacino.
I was just going to say, who's Steve?
Steve Delacino had been hired by Susan Monica to work on the farm about a year before Robert as, you guessed it, a handyman. So when they started talking to her about Steve, Susan Monica started singing like a freaking canary. She told them that Steve had stolen 2 of her guns in the summer of 2012, and that when she found out, she confronted him and things got heated. She said they got into a wrestling match over one of the guns, and that in the middle of everything, the gun just went off and shot Steve. He didn't fall down, but he actually got up and started chasing Susan. Well, after he's just been shot in the head, he got up and started chasing her, who was like running towards her barn. And at that point, she said that she raised her own rifle and shot him again in the head. And then he fell down. And then when she was sure he was dead, she brought him over to the pigs and had them get rid of his body.
Okay.
And then once they were finished, she said that she buried the rest of him on the property, and that was what the X was. However, just like her stories about how Robert Haney had been killed, there were multiple stories about Steve's murder too.
Yeah.
Because then at another point, she said, actually, Steve shot himself multiple times in the head, and then I just shot him the last time in self-defense.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed that story up. He actually shot himself several times in the head.
And then I just had to do one more. Like,
yeah.
What?
It makes sense. Yeah.
Then there were
Seems
conflicting
legit.
stories about how Steve ended up in the pig pen. Because in one story, Susan said that she put him in there. And then in another story, she said that she had gone down and had gone inside to lay down after she shot Steve.
I just went inside to lay down real quick.
She said that she went inside because, quote, she knew what she had done was wrong and she just needed to, like, relax after.
Yeah, I got to take a quick nap. Obviously.
Like,
after I've literally just brutally murdered someone.
Yeah. And then she said that when she came back to figure out what to do with him, the pigs actually got out of the pen and were already doing what they were doing.
Oh, that's cool that the pigs suddenly were able to open the pen and come out and,
it's
and
like
take
so
care
crazy.
of it for her.
And it's
That's
so weird
nice.
how that happened, like when you were just inside laying down.
I was taking a nap and suddenly my pigs became humans and they just let themselves out of the pen.
It was the wildest thing. I know you're not going to believe me.
Yeah, I mean, I love when, magic sometimes can happen at the strangest times.
It's so crazy.
While I was napping.
Yeah. So she said that she, again, left his body there a few days, let the pigs do what they were going to do, and then she gathered the rest of him and buried the remains on the property. So as they were wrapping up that interview, they said, "Is there anything else that you missed? Anything else?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, one more thing. Gotta tell you one more quick thing.
Oh my God.
I know you're gonna, like, search my property for more bodies. There's 17 of them, to be exact. While searching my farm, you're gonna find 17 more bodies. Or hopefully you will, but there is 17 buried on the property.
Oh, I forgot to mention.
By the way, just one more thing. Those 17 people.
Slipped my mind, those 17 people that I fucking murdered and buried on my property.
Yeah.
What a fucking monster.
She is.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It is wild.
Like,
absolutely bonkers.
What the actual fuck? And also, I was just looking up pictures because I do that. Well, Robert Haney.
Oh my, even look up Steve Delacino.
I was going to say I didn't see Steve, but I'm going to look it up. But Robert Haney looks like such a, like...
Yeah.
Just, he has like that kind face.
He has the kindest face.
Like he has like a dad face.
He does, like he had 5 children that Susan Monica took him away from. So yeah, quickly and needlessly to say, Susan Monica was arrested. And at this point, she was booked on 2 counts of first-degree murder and charged not only with those, but also with abuse of a corpse and 1 count of identity theft for using Robert's EBT card. So during the 3-week search of Susan Monica's property, they did find the partial remains of both Robert Haney and Steve Delacino. And by the way, Steve Delacino, he was believed to have been killed on August 1st, 2012, and he was 59 years old.
It's so sad.
It's so sad.
These poor guys.
Robert Haney's remains had to be identified through fingerprints, which then poses the question, how did he have fingers left if she left him in the pig pen for that many days?
And it's like they were able to get fingerprints?
Just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Now, the state had to bring in their own construction equipment to dig up the entire property and search for those 17 other bodies. I saw conflicting information about how many holes were dug. One said like 130 holes were dug. A couple of things said that. And a couple other sources said that 50 holes were dug.
Jeez.
But in that search, there were numerous skeletal remains found. All of them, however, were confirmed to be animal remains.
Huh.
No other human remains have ever been found at her property.
What?
Though the lead investigator on this case, Eric Henderson, later said, "My take on what she told me about the possibility of 17 other people being there was that it was true. I believe 100% that there are more people out there." So he believes that there's more people out there, but they did an extensive 3-week search of this property and found no other human remains. But
I wonder, though.
What was super fucking weird was that through that search, they just found piles and piles of random personal belongings in the barns out back.
This is the Picton farm.
One of the most ominous discoveries was a pile of dozens and dozens of pairs of shoes. They found a pile.
Oh my God, that's like in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yes. Oh my God, I actually
when they
just got
literally
chills.
just find a shed full of shoes.
This happened. At Susan Monica's farm, they literally found a pile with dozens and dozens of shoes.
Imagine being the investigator that you... Oh,
no.
my.
They also said that in the barns out back, there were like a bunch of TVs. Like tons and tons of TVs. And like, you have to think she's had multiple handymen working for her. Like, are these their televisions that obviously they didn't leave behind, got left behind when she killed them?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so then at that point, these investigators are looking for anyone who's been linked to Susan Monica in the past to confirm if they're alive or not.
Yeah.
So luckily, they were able to track down and confirm that a number of people who had worked with her in the past were luckily still alive, but a lot of these people had stories to tell about their time working with her.
Wow.
This man who worked on Susan's farm had a really similar job to Stephen Robert. He was like a handyman, and his name was Patafon Pata. He worked for Susan and lived on the property for 3 years in a rented room. So I think he was like in the same house as her. He told the World magazine that while he was working on Susan's property, he saw her feed dead sheep to the pigs, and also said she shot 2 of his dogs and 1 of his cats and fed them to the pigs. Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about, like, I honestly don't know a lot about pigs. Like, I know that kind of thing, that they're really smart, that they're
super intelligent. They're actually really clean. They're like
that
one
they're
of
really
the
clean,
cleanest
that
animals.
they'll eat a whole ass human. And like, I don't know about farming either. I don't know if like animals die, if that is something that you can do, is feed that animal to other animals.
I don't
sure
know how that works. I do know that pigs are carnivores and omnivores.
Yeah,
like
and again,
both.
like, I don't know, so I'm not going to say, but like, if you're killing animals to feed to other animals, like what? Like domestic animals, like
because
dogs
that's the thing.
and cats?
Like, I don't know about the sheep, if that's like something that happens.
Yeah, I have no idea if that's something that happens.
But like, you definitely aren't killing dogs to feed to sheep.
Well, and I also feel like that probably, like, I think that, you know, I know farmers like take care of their animals really well. Like farmers that really care.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they like give them a specific diet and they keep them on that diet. I don't think a dead sheep would be part of that diet.
No, I don't think so. Because then you have to wonder, like, why did the sheep die? Was there some kind of disease?
Yeah, like what's happening there?
Right.
It all just seems like, ooh,
it all
doesn't
like
seem like it should be how it runs. Yeah.
So then there was this other woman named Bonnie Wheeler, and she used to help Susan out around the farm, but she said she got scared because the two of them had a falling out, and one of Bonnie's friends, who was also friends with Susan, they had this mutual friend, and she said that Susan kept mentioning killing Bonnie and feeding her to the pigs.
That's not why you have pigs.
No.
Like, you're not supposed to have pigs as like a
weird fucking
like an execution chamber. Like, that's not what pigs are for.
No.
You can't just be like, you are annoying me, I'm gonna feed you to my pigs. Like, what?
But Susan said that literally all the time. Like, I think she woke up in the morning and was like, who can I feed to my pigs? Because people who knew her personally said she was always making jokes about feeding people to the pigs. Like, constantly.
And it's like, that's That's dark.
And it
That's a
makes you
dark
wonder,
joke.
when she was saying that, had she already fed
done
someone
it?
to the pigs?
Probably.
So when this case went to trial, obviously it was truly something. One of the first appearances of Susan Monica was during her arraignment. She was seen via video. When asked if she had anything to say, I'm pretty sure I was watching the video and I thought I heard her lawyer say, like, don't say anything, Susan.
Like, shut the fuck up, Susan.
Please don't say anything. But she said, quote, I'd like the people of Rogue River to donate a small amount of money so I can have my pigs butchered and the meat given to the Rogue River Community Center. Ma'am, you fed humans to those pigs. We may not. No.
What?
So Susan.
What a strange request.
What a strange request. Nobody wants meat from those pigs.
Wow.
So the community center director named Susan Smith actually knew Susan Monica pretty well. She said that Susan was a regular and she would get food for herself and the animals at the community center all the time. And she did say that around the time of Robert Haney's death that Susan stopped showing up as much. As for the donations of the pig meat, she said, quote, the center cannot accept any meat donation unless it is processed and certified under U.S. Department of Agricultural guidelines.
Yeah.
And she went on to say that even if the meat was properly processed, she questioned whether or not they would even take it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even think that needs to be a question.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
that needs to
questioning.
be, we don't want that meat, girl. So
Woof.
all of the pigs at Susan's farm sadly did have to be euthanized.
Oh,
Which is really sad.
that's
for
really
them.
sad.
So Susan at this point also went on a hunger strike. She was only drinking flavored water. She was upset about what had happened to her pigs. And she also said that another reason for doing so was that her cell conditions weren't to her liking because there was a vent blowing cold air on her 24/7. So she was on this hunger strike for 3 days, only drinking flavored water. And then apparently on day 3, she ended it with a hard-boiled egg.
Okay.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
What a way to end it.
Yeah. So
I love a hard-boiled egg.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I'd want to end a hunger strike with a hard-boiled egg, though.
I don't know.
I think I'd end it with like a Big Mac.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Why
But
not?
she probably didn't
You
have
take what you
access to
can.
that.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, I don't really know if she could order a Big Mac in prison, but like,
Probably not.
forget it.
Now, she did have 2 defense attorneys working her case, Christine Herbert and... Sorry, it auto-corrected really weird there. It's Garen Pedamonte.
That happens to me all the
It
time.
just wrote Garn.
Just Garn.
And I was like, that was not his name.
That happens all the time in my notes, and I have to quickly be like, that is not the word.
Yeah, like really quickly, your brain's like, what does that
Remember
say?
what the word is.
So her defense attorneys were Christine Herbert and Garen Pedamonte. It was actually Garen Pedamonte's first murder trial.
Oh, we're really just,
Going in.
yeah, make a splash. Go big or go home.
Yeah, so their main goal in proving Susan's quote-unquote innocence was that there was, quote, no concrete evidence to reboot Monica's claims that she shot Delicino in self-defense or to show that Haney was actually alive when she shot him. So, like, pretty good defense
Okay.
right there.
I mean, technically, yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if I should say that Susan had a lot of trouble with her attorneys or if I should put that the other way around. Seemed to be a very challenging relationship there with the 3 of them. At one point, she wanted to be able to represent herself, and she wanted her defense to be fired because she thought they were, quote, more concerned with her mental health than actually investigating her defense. But I was like, exploring your mental health might actually be very helpful in your defense.
That is your defense.
That's
Like,
the only defense you've got right
really
now.
all you got.
Yeah. And the judge said he would give her the opportunity to represent herself down the line, but told her that her defense team was not going to be fired. She literally wanted them fired and wanted to do this whole thing by herself.
And they were like, no.
And he was like, absolutely not. He was like, I'll give you like a little chance to do that, but your defense team is staying.
Hopefully everybody's learned their lesson from the Bundy escapades.
I don't think they have. But Susan wrote Judge Barnack during the trial saying, quote, if you have any doubt as to my ability to defend myself, I would address you to examine the 6th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. In all criminal prosecutions, I have the right to a speedy trial.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so
So you know your amendments.
you do.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hills. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think, or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
You're saying, like, if you have a doubt to defend myself, I want a speedy trial. I don't know how those two things correlate.
Yeah, it's like
Those are two different things. Like, yes, you do have the right to a speedy trial, but you're talking about wanting to defend yourself.
And it's like, how do those two correlate?
Yeah, they don't.
Because it feels like it would be really drawn out if you were going to defend yourself.
Exactly. Like, you'd have to, like, read a lot of books and figure out different other things.
Good try, Give it a shot.
So like I said, Susan did get the opportunity to represent herself for a minute. She got to cross-examine the lead investigator that I mentioned before, Eric Henderson.
That must have been a trip.
Yeah, she had actually told him at one point during this investigation that she was going to feed him to her pigs.
Oh, my.
So I bet he was really excited to be cross-examined by her.
Yeah, I'd be psyched to talk to her.
She said one of the main questions that she kept asking him was, what did you do to my pigs? And the judge was like, this does not matter.
Yeah, like
that's not what we're here for.
And also, he physically did not do anything to your pigs.
Not at all. She was also reprimanded for attacking his character and told multiple times that she was not following the rules of the courtroom.
Of course not.
So at one point on the same day of cross-examination, which was the third day of the trial, she asked if Robert Haney's family could be removed from the courtroom because she didn't want them to hear certain details of the case.
Oh, no, you don't get to do that.
She would literally just interrupt the entire trial and just be like, hey, by the way, like, can they leave?
And it's like, no, this isn't how that works.
You're not in charge here, girlfriend. Like, you're going to prison.
Wow.
She herself was removed from the courtroom on a number of occasions, both on her own volition and also not so much. There were times when she just straight up laughed during this.
Oh.
Specifically when it came time to discuss how many holes had been dug on her property in search of those 17 other bodies she had claimed were on the farm. Which I'm still like,
she found that funny?
Where are those? Yeah, she literally was laughing. There were other times where she would raise her hand and try to ask questions, like I said. At one point, she yelled out that she couldn't bear to watch when she found out that her taped confession was going to be played in the courtroom. She literally screamed out that she couldn't bear to watch, and she was removed from the courtroom.
I'd be like, too bad.
Yeah, it was because she was like, they were going to make her, but then she was disrupting the courtroom. Now, during the second week of the trial, there were 4 prosecution witnesses that didn't show up for one reason or another. And then finally they did like show up. They were able to get kind of like swindled, I guess, into coming. And they said that Susan Monica was a great boss and they had nothing negative to say, other than that she and Robert Haney never seemed to get along. But there was another specific witness that didn't live too far from the farm, and she testified that she heard screaming matches coming from Susan's property on multiple occasions, especially late at night. Ooh. And they were like presumed to be between Robert and Susan.
Man.
Then another man who worked on Susan's property said that around the time Robert Haney disappeared, that she had started acting differently and started acting more irritated.
Oh.
Then there was also an inmate called to testify who once shared a cell with Susan Monica. She testified that Monica had given her a birthday card and signed it, quote, "the sweetest murderer in Jackson County."
What?
So she literally was like, HBD, hope you get all your wishes. Maybe we'll make a cake. Love, the sweetest murderer in Jackson County.
That's
and
like Tyler Hadley shit. Like signing stuff
the
Hammer
card.
Time.
Yeah. That kid is such a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But the cellmate, Jordan Ferris, alleged that they got more than just a birthday card, too. Jordan Ferris testified that while she and Susan Monica were being held together at the Jackson County Jail, Susan told her what really happened in the case of Robert's death. She said, quote, Susan told me that Robert and her got into an argument because he was drunk and he was trying to come on to her. She shot him and then pushed him into the pig pen.
That's
That second story coming back again. She said that before, and now she's saying it to people in jail.
Seems like it might be legit.
Now, Susan Monica said that she signed the birthday card like that because those were just the charges she was facing at the time.
No.
So that doesn't make sense.
No.
And then her attorneys tried to say that it was just her sick sense of humor.
No.
Yeah.
That's not a sick sense of humor. That's literally incriminating yourself. So I hope that you got a big ha 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 laugh out of it.
Right.
Because now you just incriminated yourself.
Like,
was it funny?
You wrote that down on a piece of paper.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
And she had said, like, even like when she was being questioned, she said, like, I guess my sixth sense of humor's finally turned around on me. Like, trying to say that because she had joked, which, first of all, let's not joke about feeding people to pigs.
Well, it's like,
that's not a sick sense of humor.
A dark sense of humor, sick sense of humor. I have a fucked up sense of humor. Like, I have a dark ass sense of humor.
I've never heard you say that you were going to feed anyone to the pigs.
I never joke about like actually murdering someone like that.
Because that's not a joke.
Because that's not, you are incriminating yourself. Like, that is literally you saying you're going to, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You can have a sick sense of humor, but when you're writing, you're signing cards. I would never sign a card like this shortest murderer in all the land. Like, and then be like, what? People think I'm a murderer, so I just wrote it. Like, no, that doesn't make sense.
Any sense. And she's like, I feel like she was trying to say like, oh, like these people are outcasting me because I don't have the same humor as they do. And I'm like, no, they're outcasting you because you pushed 2 alive men into a pig pen and killed them.
Well, it's like, dude, I understand. Like, you got pigs. You make a joke like, you know what? Stop teasing me or I'm going to feed you to my pigs.
Right.
Like, that's okay. That's funny because, like, you think people won't actually do that.
Of course.
But when you've actually done it, that's not a sick sense of humor anymore. That's a modus operandi.
Yeah.
Like, you can't equate the two things.
No, you cannot.
If you did not actually feed people to your pigs, sure, that would be a funny joke to make.
Right.
But you actually did it. That's where the joke ends. You see?
That's where there is no joke.
You see where that line is, Susan? It's where that joke doesn't become funny anymore.
Susan does not see that
I love
line.
that she's like, people just don't get my fucking sense of humor. And it's like, because you did it.
Yeah.
Like, you did it.
You did that.
I don't understand.
Now, in the prosecution's closing arguments, the senior assistant deputy district attorney, Alan Smith, reminded the jurors that Susan's ever-changing stories didn't match the forensic evidence that was left behind. There were axe blows to these bodies.
Yeah, I was going to say, the medical examiner said.
Yeah, exactly.
There was an axe used.
Christine Herbert, one of Susan's defense attorneys, said in her closing arguments, just because Susan is different and weird and strange doesn't make her a murderer.
Yeah, no one's saying it does.
And I'm also like, wow, thank you. Like,
really cool.
She's different and she's weird.
And she's strange as fuck.
But she's not a murderer. And I'm like, ooh, but all the evidence would lead me to the contrary belief.
That's what kills me when they do that kind of shit in a trial, when they're like, okay, you're just trying to convict this person because they're strange or they're goth or they're like into this or into that.
Right.
And it's like,
or they make jokes about
no,
feeding
like
people to
absolutely. Like, look at the West Memphis 3 case. Of course you can't do that. You
and of
cannot
course that
look
happens.
at somebody. It happens all the time. But when there's physical evidence and somebody literally saying like, yeah, like, not under duress.
No.
If freely admitting of their own volition, like, yes, I did that. I threw him in the pig pen.
Multiple times.
We're not judging her based off of, apparently she has a dark sense of humor or she's weird or something like that. Nobody's judging that. We're judging her because she's a murderer.
We're judging her based off of the fact that we found a severed leg.
On her property.
At the femur leg on her property. And she was like, oh, yeah, I got to talk to you about that.
It just seems like so patronizing because it's like, yeah, of course you don't want to judge a book by its cover.
No.
Of course not. And again, I say, West Memphis 3 case is the perfect prime example of that.
It truly is.
Perfect. This is not that case.
Not even at all.
There's evidence to back this up.
A leg was found on her property. Need I say more? There were
Evidence
skeletal
of body.
remains buried on the property.
It's like that's a very different situation.
There was a skull and spinal cord left of Stephen Delacino buried on the property behind a barn.
Yeah.
And then, what about the dozens and dozens of pairs of shoes?
Yeah, it's like, come
That's
on.
not strange and weird. That's sus.
That's very sus.
Yeah. So on the last day of trial, while the judge was trying to
We're like, damn it.
I'm like, ah! On the last day of trial, the judge was trying to explain to the jury, like, the instructions and how to deliberate and everything. And in the middle of that, Susan Monica raises her hand again for one last fucking time.
Teacher?
And she goes, I'd like to demonstrate how I shot him for 10 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah. So at first, the judge ignored her because he was like, we're almost done with this.
Because he's like, what
we're-
are you? What
Right.
What are you even talking about?
And
like,
then-
what are you even talking about, Susan?
Then she interrupted again and lifted her hands to demonstrate how she was holding the gun and said, I held the gun like this, and is like yelling while he's trying to tell these jurors what to do. So at that point, the judge had her removed from the courtroom and she was held until the jury came back with their verdict, and they only deliberated for an hour. And when she came back to the courtroom and it was time for the verdict to be read, she asked that it happened ASAP because it didn't seem to matter, she said.
Wow.
So on April 21st, 2014, like I said, that jury came back only after having deliberated for an hour. And Susan Monica was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to a minimum of 50 years in prison and given no opportunity for parole. Judge Tim Barnack told her, "You shot 2 people and fed them to your pigs. I don't know how else I can put it. You valued pigs more than you valued people. It may sound harsh, but you're a cold-blooded killer."
No, it doesn't sound
And I
harsh
was like,
to me.
that doesn't sound harsh at all. I think what she did on her farm sounds pretty harsh.
Sounds like facts. Cold
Sounds
hard
like
facts
straight up
to me.
facts. So she was sent to the Coffee Creek Correctional Facility in Wilsonville, Oregon. Susan herself has said that she does not value human life. She has said, quote, "I do not value human life very much. My feeling is the only thing wrong with the planet is that there's people on it. If not for us, all the other animals, even dodo birds, would be here."
Okay. Okay.
Robert Haney's son said of his father, quote, "My dad was a good, humble person that shouldn't have been murdered. At least he's
No.
finally able to rest in peace." And then when asked about Susan Monica, Stephen Delacino actually had a daughter, and she told Oxygen, quote, "She has changed so many people's lives and taken away 2 people that were loved. I hope she's remorseful for what she did and that maybe one day she can find it in herself to forgive herself, and I hope that I can forgive her."
Wow.
Which I was like, what a strong
I
person
know.
you are.
Damn. I'm always like in awe when family members can have that kind of attitude towards it. I'm like, yes.
Absolutely.
You're far more evolved than I am.
And I felt sad for her because Stephen Delacino, like, was kind of similar to Robert Haney in the regard where, like, his kids wouldn't talk to him for a certain amount of time, but, like,
While he was like off working.
while he was off working, but she was like, we never got to have the relationship that I wanted to have with him because of Susan Monica.
Because he was taken.
Because he was taken from
Yeah.
this life way too soon.
Well, he was just trying to be like a hardworking guy.
Right.
You know, both these guys.
So I tried to find out also what happened to Susan Monica's farm in the aftermath
Yeah.
of the trial. I really couldn't find a lot. Like, I was like, what is going on at this farm? But there was an article talking about the multiple code violations and things like the fact that there was no running water on this farm.
What?
Or even proper sewage facilities.
Oh.
Yeah. The article said that Susan Monica would have been the one responsible to fund this potential cleanup, which is going to cost like thousands and thousands of dollars. And it was because she owned the property outright. And so she would either have to deal with it that way, like from her prison cell, or she would have to deed it to somebody else who would then take on that job. But they were saying that she wasn't ready to sell the property and she wanted to wait until her appeal, like her automatic appeal, was filed, which I couldn't find anything about the appeal. So I don't know if it just hasn't happened yet or if it happened and didn't work. But it sounds like a lot of hazardous waste might just be still chilling at that farm.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And this was in 2015 that it finally wrapped up.
Holy shit.
I couldn't find anything else.
Wow.
So I'm like, anybody in Oregon want to drive past that farm for me and let me know
Oregon, what's
up?
going on with that farm? Can you
Guys,
tell us?
Please tell me.
Holy shit.
Rogue River, what's up?
But like, don't go on it.
Don't go on
Like,
that farm.
be
Because,
careful.
like, there's straight up hazardous
Yeah, don't
waste.
do
Like,
that.
I
I
am
don't want you
encouraging you
going
to
on
not
it.
go anywhere near
Don't
that.
do that.
But
But like drive by. drive by. Like, let us know if it's still there.
Maybe don't roll down your window.
Yeah,
though.
don't keep your windows up, but don't go in there.
I just want to know if they did anything to clean it up.
Yeah, I just want to know if, like, what is it just still how it was, or is it?
They must have done something. I just
to
couldn't
have.
find anything.
Wow.
But she was going to have to pay for the cleanup.
That's a truly wild case. I feel so horrible for those two men and their families.
Seriously.
Just like hardworking handymen.
And they still had so much of their life left. Like,
Yeah,
these
they
were
were
people in
young.
like their mid to late 50s.
Yeah, that's young.
Absolutely. And
got a
like
whole life to
had
live after
children,
that.
had families. And it sounded like Robert Haney, especially, like he wanted to help whoever had been hurt in his family, who had ever
Yeah.
been sexually assaulted. It just sounded like such a stand-up guy.
Oh, it's just really sad.
It is. So that is the case of Susan
Wow.
Monica, who is in prison for 50 years now.
I
For a
feel
minimum.
like I've heard, like, I did not hear all the details of that, but I think I heard that case, like, what it was about generally, but
I
I
had
didn't
never
know
heard of
the
it.
details.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it. And then I was looking through our suggestion box and everybody was like, cover this case. And they kept mentioning Willie Pickton, like I said.
Every time you
mirrors
spoke,
it.
I was like, Willie Pickton, Willie Pickton, Willie
And when you
Pickton.
see the farm, I don't know whose is worse. Like,
Yeah.
I think they're neck and neck.
I mean, they're real bad.
It's disgusting. Did you look up the farm while
I
we were
did,
doing
yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's really rough.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for that.
You're welcome for that. And we hope you keep listening.
We hope you
Keep
it weird.
But not so weird that you joke about feeding people to your pigs, because you really shouldn't even make that joke about like murdering people. It's not really funny to joke about murder. And definitely if you're going to even joke about murder, which I told you not to do, definitely don't then go and murder somebody and feed them to your pigs, because that's really incriminating. And like, you know, you're on your own with that one.
I don't do that. Bye.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health, so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
One sunny day, a honeybee was merrily buzzing through an orchard when she stopped to collect nectar from a mystery apple blossom. She passed that pollen along to a honeycrisp tree, and months later, the sugar bee apple was born. Naturally sweet, with layered notes of caramel, honey, molasses, and the perfect crunch. The world has embraced the sugar bee apple, a pure delight for snacking and baking. Download our new free recipe book and find a store near you at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar bee apples, from bee to you.
Waking up exhausted, foggy, and running on empty? For me, one of the missing pieces was magnesium support. That's why I added Magnesium Breakthrough Bye Optimizers to my nightly routine. It's a powerful all-in-one magnesium complex with 7 forms of magnesium designed to support relaxation, sleep, stress response, and recovery. If you're ready to feel more rested and have a great summer, go to byoptimizers.com/hags and use code HAGS for 15% off any order.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.